Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome Rolex Rankings number 2, Stacy Lewis, into the interview room. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you just got off a very hot day out on the golf course, but I'm sure it's always great to be back here in Toledo, one of your many hometown events that you get to enjoy on the LPGA Tour. What are some of your favorite things about coming back to Toledo?
Gosh, well, I love being back here. You know, this place is very special to me. It was the first LPGA tournament I ever even went to as a fan. So I have a lot of great memories here, and probably the best part, I guess, would be having my family out. You know, I get to hang out with my family, which we're on the road so much throughout the year that time that you get with your family is really special. So. Coming back, golf courses, it's always the same every year, which is quite nice actually when we're always hopping around to different courses. So it's actually nice to come back to something we're used to.
This year, it's the same tournament as we've always been used to, different title name, which is a familiar name to you as you wear it right there proudly on your shirt. You've been sponsored by Marathon for quite a while. What does it mean to you to be able to have sponsors of yours then come on and take on titles of events that are kind of helping to prolong and really generating a great future here for this event in Toledo?
Yeah, this week it's really special for me to come and, because I really feel like a part of Marathon being the title sponsor. I felt like I helped do that, and I felt like I was a part of that, and so it's really special to come back and, they're so excited about it. I've been working with them a little over a year now, and so I've gotten to know a lot of people with the company, and it's just really cool to kind of see it all come together. And I've always said at the end of the day, I want to leave this tour better than when I got here, and getting tournament sponsors and increasing purses and things like that, that's what we're trying to do here. And so I feel like I've at least accomplished it one week, and so now we just got to keep it going.
As I was joking about a hometown event, it does seem that this week everywhere you look, you see your picture. You're on the magazine covers, you're on the programs, you're on all the ads. So we were joking, do you almost feel like it's the Stacy Lewis sponsored tournament or the Marathon sponsored event?
I have been, a lot of the other players, they've been giving me a hard time about how my picture is everywhere. They're signing posters with my picture on it, they're signing programs with my picture on it. So it's cool though. It's cool how they've really kind of supported me over the last year, and I'm excited to see, their response from hosting the tournament, and they've had a great reaction so far. So I'm just excited to see, at the end of the week, whether this is, I think it's something from what's talking to them, it's going to be long term, but just making sure that everything went the way they wanted to.
When you look back, as we talk about the last year, it's been quite a year for you. If you look back, really dating back to last May or so, is when things really started getting rolling. You're now number 2 in the world. You had a stint at number 1 back in February, March time. What has this whole ride been like for you in terms of, putting together so many victories, so many top 10 finishes? You've been so consistent, it seems, over this stretch. What is it like now coming back to these events and being at this level that you're playing at now?
Every year I've come back to this tournament at a higher level. I played as an amateur a couple times, and that really kind of set the foundation of learning how to get better. And now, this is the highest I've ever been ranked coming into this tournament. So there's an extra spotlight every week, as it always is. I'm always busy, and the last year it's really been, it's been a learning process for me, learning how to manage the requests for my time and the demands, and saying no to a lot of things. It's been a year. It's really taken me almost a year to really understand it and how to make it work for me, and I feel like I've finally gotten to that point, and I think that's why my golf has been so consistent. It's just been every week's busy, and I'm just going with the flow, and I'm having fun with it and trying to walk around with a smile on my face, because there's a lot of things that are worse than playing golf every day.
Speaking of, you understand, having now been at number 1, what it takes to be up at that level, and like you said, all the requirements, media requests, all the demands on your time. When you look at what Indy Park has been doing this year, and we've all seen how impressive what it's done on the golf course, how impressive is it when you consider to now all of a sudden all these demands, and that she's at number 1 in the world? Do you kind of sympathize a little bit with what she's been going through in terms of what that takes to be at that high level, and especially in the midst of all that attention?
Yeah, I think the hardest part about being number 1 is keeping your golf game in check, because you're pulled in so many different directions. There's so many requests, and you know, a lot of what MB's getting is probably from overseas, and so you're doing time changes and you're trying to figure all that kind of stuff out, and it's very hard. You know, your golf game definitely takes a little bit of a hit, so it's even more impressive the way she's playing. You know, she just keeps winning, and you know, we were joking last week that she must have felt like she played terrible last week and she finished 14th. So it just shows that she's human, and you know, but that's golf. When she gets rolling with her putter, she's very hard to beat, and but it's good for golf. It's good. I mean, we've got a lot of buzz about, you know, winning the Grand Slam. We got 2 more majors that she'd have to win, but all the buzz, I mean, the talk about it is great for women's golf.
No doubt about it. Questions for Stacy?
Hey, Stacy, can you go into some detail about what you may have done to facilitate this the marriage of this sponsor in this tournament?
Yeah, we got introduced to the marathon folks through Judd Silverman, tournament director, and he kind of put a bug in my ear, and it's kind of like we need to get a long-term tournament sponsor here, and so you know, I started working with Marathon, and you know, they're a company, they don't like to kind of jump in things lightly. You know, they really like to think about it and make sure it fits what they're doing, and so we started last year, and I did a couple of events for them, and you know, they've done a lot of marketing into just golf in general. You know, you see their commercials on the Golf Channel and things like that. So I guess it was about this time last year when I was doing the outing for Marathon. They do a big event for all their customers, and you know, Gary, their CEO, he's like, it was one of the first times I met him, and he said, "Why should I sponsor an LPGA tournament?" And so it kind of caught me off guard, but at the same time, that's what, as players, we're here to do. We have to sell ourselves. We have to sell our tour. So, you know, I think I must have given him a pretty good response, because now we're at this point here today. So, you know, it's been cool to go through the process with them and see how excited they are for this event, and all the little things that they've done. You know, the little tee box markers and all the signage on the course. They've done a lot more, you know, marketing leading up to the event. You know, I've heard my commercial's been running nonstop around here. I think my aunt said they were getting tired of watching me, and they were hearing my voice all the time on the radio. So, you know, they've done a lot for the event so far, and I think it's just going to keep, you know, they want Gary. I played with them today. He even said, "I want to know how we can make this better. I want to know what we need to do better for next year." So he's got ideas, and I think this is just the beginning.
If I can follow up, Paula was in earlier, and she won this tournament in '08 when it was the Owens Corning Classic, and she's wearing that big panther around. Is there, it probably isn't pressure, but is there a greater desire to do well when under these circumstances for a player like you?
Yeah, I think I have a few tournaments on my list that, you know, that are ones that I definitely want to win, and you know, if winning this week it would be too perfect for Marathon. I'd make it too easy on them, but it would be kind of the perfect way to start the tournament if I did. But I don't really see it as pressure. You know, I think I'm trying to win every single week, and if it happens to be one of those ones that's on my list, that's great. If not, you know, I'll be back here next year to try it again.
Stacy, what was your reaction when you reached number 1?
It was, you know, it didn't really settle in for a few days. It was, I was so busy. I was running around like crazy, and I don't think it really hit me until I got to the craft, and there was a lot of attention, a lot of questions, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of one of those things you work so hard for, and then it was kind of like, all right, now what do I do? You know, I'm at number 1 in the world, and you just go back to what you were doing. You know, you don't really feel any different. You don't think you're a different person, but it's just kind of one of those goals. You can kind of just check it off the list.
And also, you were quoted as saying you were more comfortable as an underdog throughout your life. Well, that's out the window now. So how do you handle this?
I don't know. I guess in some aspects, I still kind of see myself as the underdog. You know, in a sense, we're always asked about the Korean players, why they're always playing so well, and so I feel like I still am that underdog a little bit. I don't know, I've always been the player. I play better when my back's against the wall. When things are hard, that's when I do my best. And I don't know if maybe I'm just too hard on myself and I'm